Hey everybody, it's Naomi. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today I'm going to be doing a question and answers video. But before I get into the questions, I just want to say a huge thank you for all the really nice messages and comments that I got on my first video, which I posted last week. If you haven't seen it, definitely go check it out. It was really emotional to make and to film because I was kind of just opening up and being vulnerable. I can never say that word. Vulnerable and kind of just sharing my story. So I really do appreciate the response, but along with that video I got a lot of questions relating to my transition and my life as a trans person. Question number one is, how do you remain positive through your transition? So I do just want to emphasize the fact that it's okay not to be positive all the time. We are all humans, you know, everyone gets down, that's just how life is. But I would say for the most part, I'm a pretty positive person. And there's a quote that I kind of live by. Will this matter in a month? Will this matter in a year? Will this matter in 10 years? And that's what I say for kind of any situation. In regards to my transition, which I know was the question, I'm going through like quite a struggle now, but in 10 years, like it'll all be worth it, I feel like I'll be in a much happier place, hopefully. So that's the way I kind of look for things. Evaluate, regardless of the situation, whether it's a transition or not, whether it's an argument with your friends, I like to think of that, like, will this matter in a year? Will this matter in 10 years? If the argument will not matter in 10 years, it's probably not worth fussing over. Like, yes, you're likely upset, that's absolutely fine, but is it really worth giving so much energy? I don't know. Question number two is, what have been the highest and lowest parts of your transition? The highest part of my transition is just feeling so free. I wake up every morning excited and like optimistic about what my future holds and like what I can achieve. And that's something that I haven't always been able to say. I used to wake up pre-transition kind of just feeling like shit and like nothing was happening in my life and like my life was kind of going nowhere. And that's a horrible feeling to have, you know, nobody should feel like that at all. So I would definitely say the highest is just feeling free and not feeling this kind of like pressure. And then the lowest point of my transition is I do feel some pressure in the sense that I feel like I have to put on a show almost to kind of, and I know so many people will relate to me, trans girls in particular. I feel like I sometimes have to prove my femininity to people, and I do that by the way I dress, by my hair, my makeup, maybe my personality. I feel like I constantly have to be proving myself to people, saying, hey, I'm a woman. Question number three is there anything you regret about your transition? No, not really, because everything that I've done in regards to my transition and my life in general has led me to this point. I'm just really positive and excited about the future, and like I said, I haven't always felt like that. So all of the bad times that I've kind of went through, and Lord knows I have been through some really shitty times in my life, and I've gotten to this point though, and I feel so happy that all those bad experiences and things that I've like had to endure have like been so worth it, because like I'm here and happy. Okay, question number four, do you have a penis or a vagina? So the reason I put this question in here is to emphasize the fact that you really can't ask people what their genitalia is unless you're going to be intimate with that person. Like if you're on a date with somebody or it's kind of like an intimate setting, but to just ask somebody like outright, like sometimes I get like Snapchats and like DMs on Instagram of people just asking that question, not a hello, not anything like that. And it is quite rude, but I will answer it. I have a penis. Question number five, why the name Naomi? So I get asked this question all the time, and I honestly do not have an answer. Naomi was just a name that really resonated with me and I just loved, and it was always in the back of my mind. Over the years, you know, when I was, you know, I spoke about this in my first video, when I used to like dress up and things and kind of just play around in like fancy dress, I used to have a lot of different like characters and like personas, you know what I mean, like kind of alter egos, like Sasha Fierce with Beyonce. It was kind of like that, but like not like that. It was like my kind of way of expressing me wanting to be female. Does that make sense? Naomi was never one of the names of the three kind of characters that I played, but it was a name that just I loved. So when starting my transition, there was no doubt that Naomi was the name for me. The final question is, how do people usually react when you tell them that you're trans? So thankfully, I have never had a bad experience where someone's kind of lashed out at me because I am trans, or I've told them that I'm trans. I'm sure that will happen one day, and it's sad that I kind of have to expect that, but it is kind of inevitable. But I've usually had, well, I have only had like good experiences. If we're talking about it from like a dating point of view, when I tell people, I will always tell somebody before I meet them. I would never want to put somebody in a uncomfortable position, like ever. That's just not what I'm about. If you at home watching this are a trans person and you like to just leave it till the last minute to tell people they're trans, that is completely up to you. I would really not advise that. If that person is going to lash out at you for being trans and for being you, they're clearly not the person you want to be with. So I just feel like honesty is the best policy. I'm not ashamed of being trans. I will be completely open about it. Clearly I'm posting videos of myself. I am not embarrassed at all. The kind of worst response that I've got ever would be just, oh, I'm not interested. And that is absolutely fine. I am not trying to force myself on you. If you don't want to be with me, we're clearly not meant to be together. That's absolutely fine. Every kind of bad experience or whatever, or wrong person will lead you to the right person. And that's just kind of the mindset that I like to have when it comes to dating. For every wrong, there is a right. That's all the questions that I'm going to be answering today. I will do a follow-up video if there's any more questions, so you can send those to me on Instagram, leave them in the comments, Snapchat me, whatever. My social media is always on the screen. Remember to be compassionate and spread love and not hate, because hate will get us absolutely nowhere. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.